What's up, guys? Coming up, a Super Mario Odyssey any percent race between Cypher and Dansta, and enjoy.
3, 2, 1, go.
Cypher. Oh, the time didn't start. The time didn't start.
Oh no.
Oh.
Can someone start the timer on tech?
Oh, well, no.
Nope.
Guess we're not ready
Not
yet.
starting.
Okay, starting over.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
alright.
Okay.
Hey, that's the one with by 2 seconds. Nice.
GG's, 5 seconds.
Close race. Close race. Okay.
Still got the spin pound in before. Oh, do it if he. Oh, are you gonna reset the timer or do we press the button again? Nice.
Okay, so while we're dealing with some small tech hiccups, I'm just gonna read some donations that we had received during the previous run. We've got a $5 donation from Lokuden saying, "Loving seeing a ROM hack at ESA. Let's get that bingo bob." Also, a donation of $7.20 by Sheepkey saying,
Cool.
"Chris, imagine if I had something interesting to say, so good luck on all the runs."
But I'm going to start the timer, right? Ah, okay, okay.
Alright.
Let's try.
Alright. So the first thing you might notice here is that the game is in Japanese. And this is because there is less text in the game. Not faster, it's just less text because of the Japanese characters that scroll through. This takes around 15 seconds throughout the entire run. And also, in the very start of the game here, both Dansta and ZYPER is going to try something called a spin pound. This is just a fast way to gain a lot of speed in the shortest amount of time. Yes. So that's basically the same as just jumping up and grab punting and rolling. And there you saw Dansta actually do a spin pound. He actually buffered that spin pound before the cutscene even began. And there, both ZYPER and Dansta went into first person before the cutscene began. That's because the game needed to like zoom out before the bridge would appear. And that first person thing just completely skipped that. And here you also see another tech called vectoring. While Dansta and ZYPER is in the air, they'll turn 45 degrees. This will give them way more speed, and they move further, way faster. And here's also a little trick called left side. Basically going around the other side of the building first, and both ZYPER and Dansta gets it. Very nice.
GG's.
Optimally, that saves around 3 seconds. And you've also seen a few of these already, probably, but we are also doing a lot of spin throws in this run, where you shake your controller and then you throw the cap in like a spin motion, and the cap will go out way further and also way faster, and so it saves time over the course of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of motion controls in this game that are required for speed tech. In fact, even just rolling, you should be shaking whilst you roll, otherwise you won't go anywhere near as fast.
Yes, exactly. And here we have to explain version differences. Currently in the game there is 3 versions, 1.1, 1.0 and 1.2. And in version 1.0 there is a trick you can do called FMS, where you skip grabbing the first moon and then go up to Madame Brutal and trigger the cutscene. Now this only works in 1.0. In 1.2 you can still do FMS, but the Madame Brutal cutscene won't trigger. So right here, they'll land up here and trigger the cutscene. But in 1.2 this won't work. And just to be clear, FMS stands for first moon skip. And you also saw them catching the dino, or the dinosaur, to jump on top of a trampoline to get up to the Madame Brutal fight. This saves around 20 seconds. You can just take the dinosaur and jump on top of the trampoline, and then you'll be right up there. This might be a good point for like a donation or two.
Oh yes, we do have some donations. A $10 donation from Mars of Sleep saying, I'm confused why Chris isn't doing Tetris. Good luck on the run. Also a $10 donation from Thatch Bro saying, message to Crazy Rasmus, I did the typical Norwegian scene and left for 2 days. Sadly I had to work, but I hope I can join the upcoming events. Good luck with the upcoming days, you do an amazing job everyone at ESA, both hosting and speedrunning. Thank you for having me at ESA.
So because of we did FMS, Dansta2106 needs to grab 2 moons right now. Luckily there's 2 really fast moons next to the Odyssey that you can grab. And the second one right here, you can clip up through the ground by doing a pressing the cap at a specific time. Then you'll just clip through the ground, and then you'll be right at the Odyssey. You'll see another example of this in Wooden, and that saves way more time. This one saves like 2-3 seconds maybe.
Is that one 1.0 specific?
No,
Or
that's not 1.0.
You can do those tricks in the latest version.
Yes, you can do that in older versions. But in 1.2 you don't grab the chest moon, so that is not necessary. Well, that's the first 2 kingdoms of the game. Now things will start to get way harder, and the movement will be way more complicated. What Zyper is going up to now is a little text box. You can either go fast. Cappy will basically show you like an action guide where it shows different stuff you can do, different movement you can do, and sometimes this text box appears slowly, and sometimes it can be very fast. Zyper seem to get it fast, but that's went kind of slow. Good. If you just move Mario to a specific part of that table right there, you can just roll right into the pipe. Saves some time. And every time you see Mario roll or power roll in this game, both Zyper and Dansta is shaking their controller. That's also a huge part why we use motion controls, and this saves a lot of time as well. Another upcoming trick called Drab Strat. Dansta will try and get up to this platform on top right here, and up throw his cap, try and get this moon down here, and then he will try and capture the bullet bill. And he gets it. Excellent. And now he can go right over to the next moon right here. Zyper will also do the same. And that also looks very good. The platform might sometimes get in the way. That can really mess you over sometimes. And upcoming next is another version exclusive trick that only works on version 1.1 and 1.0, where you can clip into the Sphinx grabbing 2 fast moves. Very nice. He has done it once, but he needs to do it one more time. This is called a double clip, where you first grab the swing spoon and then grab the other moon to go around. Oh, he failed it. Yeah, there you
Nice,
go.
second
Very
try.
nice. Very nice.
Let's do this again. Nice,
Zyper
good job.
also gets it first try. Very good.
You collect coins in this room as well for an upcoming moon that you have to buy. So you'll be throwing and shaking to collect as many coins as you can before you get out of the room.
During the run, the runners need 200 coins to buy 2 moons. Once in Wooded Kingdom and once in Snow Kingdom. Another little skip that coming up here. And you guess it, yeah. Basically, you need to go through a sort of a sub area to get up to the Jaxi over there. But you can just crash your bullet bill into the wall and wall jump, and you'll be up there. Simple as that. And that saves a lot of time, you know. And it's a very fast move. And it gives you more coins too. One thing I forgot to mention is when you do double clip, you need to be aware of the bird cycle. If you get a very bad second clip, you might actually miss the good cycle, and this wastes obviously time. And if you get a very bad second clip, you'll miss the bird entirely, which means you need to grab an extra moon, and that wastes very much time. That's just done with Sand Kingdom. Cyprus also coming up to the last moon right here. The Notes moon requires you to either get a fast Notes and only take 1 spin throw, or you need to take 2 spin throws. But overall, very nice sand from both Dansta and Zyper. Very nice.
This is where the route starts to deviate a little bit, because in terms of the routing, both Dansta and Zyper are largely doing the same route, but there are 2 specific differences, and there's one coming up just now.
While you guys were at it, we have received a $20 donation from Anonymous with no comment provided.
Another trick upcoming here is Lake Clip. And I think Dansta can actually explain this one.
Yeah, going to do that after it.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case.
So it's coming up right now.
Nice.
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 Okay.
Very good.
So that's actually pixel perfect, and there are a lot of pixels where Cappy can clip, but only 1 pixel where
you'll need
actually Mario will clip. So you have to find that 1 pixel, and the out of bounds movement also is pretty precise. So second try is okay.
Very nice. So right there, I actually gave Dansta the Joy-Cons, and the reason for this is after you grab the Painting Moon, you can go down and capture the fish, and with Joy-Cons you can down throw. This is not possible with Procon, so therefore you can grab the cheap way faster, and this saves like a second or so.
Also, the reason why leg clip is faster is because the fight Zyper is in right now will be skipped, so the long cutscenes don't take place in my rod.
Also, the fact that we warped at the end as well, so that's some time save, because there's a later part in the run where the text will come up to say, oh, here's how you warp, and that takes up some time.
It isn't necessarily a time save, it just moves the time save.
Yeah, it's a bit of
Yeah.
a weird one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So you like lose more time later, but you save time later.
Yeah.
Very nice early game for both the players here. But this kingdom right here is where things will probably change. This is a very hard kingdom with a lot of hard tricks. So we'll just see. I'll explain them as I can. Already at the first min here, Dancer will actually Dancer will actually try and grab the rock and have enough speed to grab the rabbit while he holds the rock, and then grab another rock over there. This is where we buy our first shop moon that I mentioned earlier. Okay, earlier I mentioned something called a moon clip, where you clip through walls with a moon, and basically you can throw Cappy at a very precise part of the moon, or right before you grab the moon, and the moon animation will actually clip Mario through the wall. And we use this mechanic to grab two very fast moons right here. But this OB section is the scariest part of the thing. And that's gets to grab the grand moon right here. Very nice.
And then go back and bounce there.
Yeah,
nice.
and then you go back and bounce. And he gets on top of the ramp too. Very nice. Very nice from Dansta. And now ZYPER actually does a different round where he grabs the tree moon and then goes over to the nut-clip moon, as we call the trick. And it looks very good from my angle as well. Very nice. Okay. Let's see if he gets it. Okay, he grabs the moon. And it gets in bounce.
Bounce, nice.
And
Good
now
job.
it's the ramp. Okay, very nice. Both runners got it. Very good. Now you saw ZYPER get an extra moon later that Dansta did not. Now Dansta's gonna grab this story moon right here that you're already gonna get from the piranha. Now with ZYPER grabbing that extra moon, he'll actually skip the story moon. This will skip some cutscenes and also skips the long moon animation. And why Dansta doesn't go for it? It's actually a really hard route, and it saves like 2 seconds, and you can very easily mess up with this. So it's very it doesn't save all the time, but you can see a difference. Oh, that's almost falling down. Something I forgot to mention is that Dansta did a trick called FRS, or Flower Road Skip, where we roll cancelled off the moon platform and did a triple jump to get over the platform. And ZYPER is doing that right now. Except since he doesn't grab the story moon, he just does a long jump and a triple jump after it. Very nice. Now that we actually done that clip, you can actually skip doing this boss fight right here, and you can go down to like the main wooded area and grab 3 very fast moons. If you do the boss fight, then you'll actually have to watch a lot of cutscenes, watch the multi-moon cutscenes, and actually fight the boss as well. And this wastes a lot of time. But instead, we can grab these 3 moons and save around 5 seconds from and not doing Spirit. ZYPER will also do this. And the thing with reroute is because he didn't grab the storm and he can't actually trigger Spirit. So yeah, he needs to do the spiritless route, as we call it.
But it's faster anyway.
Well, yeah, it is faster.
Oh, nice, got through that cycle. That cycle can be quite tight.
Yeah, that sub area in general is really hard if you mess it up. So it was very nice sub area from Hyper. Okay, that's the scariest part of the run. Luckily, both Dansta and Zyper got a very good. Shouldn't say that.
Yeah, there's one left.
Okay,
nice. Okay,
fight,
now we can say it.
Yeah. Both the runners got very good with it. So, very nice job.
It's very close so far.
Now on our way to Metro, we actually get blocked because we see Bowser and his ship on Cloud Kingdom, and this is where the first Bowser fight comes actually. Right up.
Meanwhile, we have received a $20 donation from Ray, saying, "Love the event. Great to see Odyssey broken. Used hours to complete it. Have a great evening and run."
Thank you.
You saw Dancer there actually going up to Bowser and grabbing his hat immediately. It's actually because he went up to Bowser and just threw his cap, and the hat is in his hand. And the same with right here. He backflips over the hat, throws Cappy, then the hat will actually backflip right into Mario, and then you grab it right away. Unfortunate death from Zyper right there. But it's fine, it's not a big time loss. He'll do the same right here, except he'll take some damage. And that was intentional, so he could actually grab the hat. Now we'll actually enter Lost Kingdom, the fastest kingdom in the game. It's actually so fast that all the moon cutscenes added together is actually there's actually more moon cutscenes in this kingdom than there is gameplay. So. And here you see a trick that we call meme tree. We actually go around this place right here, because if you go further up the road right there, you'll actually trigger a bird called Klepto, and he'll steal your hat. And this wastes a lot of time, so we'd rather just go around him, and later you'll see we actually trigger him by walking up to the pedestal where he stands. And then, you know, the game thinks that the hat is already stolen. So Clapto just won't take your hat anymore. Zyper also gets a very good meme tree.
Nice.
Very nice. There you go. Now Dansta has triggered Clapto, so now he won't take your hat anymore. That's actually taking his beetle right here to destroy those blocks and grabbing another moon while he waits for the block to be destroyed. Oh! It's actually better that he died right there, or else the Klepto bird would have been triggered, which means his hat would have been stolen. So it was probably better for him to die right there, or very unfortunate. With this, that's we're actually supposed to get on top of the bridge right there, but instead taking the intentional death. It's not that big of time loss unless you actually try to get up and then die. But it's a completely fine.
It's probably one of the quickest deaths because you get walked back.
It doesn't cost a lot of time. You spawn right next to the Odyssey, but it is a little bit faster to just roll back to the Odyssey instead. Now something I forgot to mention is a trick called triple jump or cage triple or something, where you grab you give the beetle your hat and then oh, okay, and then you do triple jump to get over to the moon area right there. Ooh, Sniper actually getting kind of a value dive right there, not landing on his hat. A value dive is basically where Mario just dives in an entirely opposite or an entirely different direction than whatever motion you held or whatever input you held. We're using some very nice techniques to get over here very fast. Now, it doesn't matter how slow or fast you are in the beginning there, because you need to make that cycle anyways. So you can literally go as slow as you want, as long as you make that cycle. Upcoming this is a very scary jump, where you jump over this hallway right here. And the reason this is so scary is because the camera actually moves by itself. So you need to make sure that you know, the camera doesn't mess you up and makes Mario fall down. So it's very hard to land on top of him again. Upcoming this is a boss called Mecha Wiggler. This first cycle right here isn't necessarily random, but sometimes it can be very hard to actually hit. The hitboxes on the different parts of the boss is very hard to hit sometimes. So, right here, Dansta's trying to actually manipulate the Wiggler, so it'll go on the wall where he wants it to go. Because the Mecha Wiggler will always stop on the wall that he's standing right next to right now. So that's why he's trying to get it on top of that wall right there. Now this is the RNG part. This the way the Wiggler goes is completely random. And you want to be able to finish this fight in 2 cycles. And this looks very good. Yeah, very nice. The hitboxes can be a bit messy sometimes, which loses time sometimes if you get like 1 or 2 points left on the boss. But overall, very nice fight.
Now a good time potentially for more donations. I think there's a bit of downtime before the day movement. Cool. Any donations?
Indeed, we do have some donations. $20 from Ryuhama saying, another dono, thanks to everyone that puts this event on. Really made my week. Good luck to the runners.
And here you'll actually see Dansta trying to move the camera so it's on the right side. And that's so he can do that spin power right there and get on top of the platform. And another little dram strat where he tries to actually throw the cap onto the electric wire while he's grabbing it, and then he can just kill it. And right here is another trick called scooter clip, where you need to actually turn your controller and then push to the side, and then you'll actually clip into the moon over there. But that's the managed to get it very nicely, so. But very well.
Just to clarify, anytime we talk about dram, the reason most clips that involve dram essentially is when the cap is hovering around, you're holding the cap button, and then by the time you've collected a moon, you're using the motion controls, and the cap actually locks onto the next thing to capture, and that's quite useful because you normally just leave it near a specific like rail that you're trying to catch and carry on.
And the reason it's called Dram Strat is because there was this old player called Dram who didn't like tricks being called by his name. So he found the original strat in sand that I talked about earlier. So now everything is called like dram when it involves holding out your cap while you do something, and then to capture the.
Mhm.
Except the trick later, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And route actually used to be different in Metro. We used to get the musicians later after the sub area, but we changed this, and it's now it's just faster by like 2 seconds or something. But it saves time, and it isn't any more difficult. So everybody just goes through it. Zyper actually getting a better taxi cycle right there at Dansta. The taxi can't be in your way if you spend too much time on scooter clip. Or if you spend way too much time scooter clip, it can also not be in your way.
Yeah.
Also doing another like flower road skip style of triple jump right there. Works the exact same way. Just doing a simple dive to get over to the next moon over there. And right here he's just diving with a specific timing, so you can just dive on top of the different platforms on the building. It was very fast if you did it correctly. And he actually gets the spin pound off the top of the building as well. That's very nice. That's also tries to get on top of the railings right here, so he can fall faster down. Also save some time. And you get the most. Sometimes you can either bonk on the railings or just miss the railing and go right off the building. So I've been doing the same right here, doing a different style of it, but getting it very nicely anyways. Now this is the sub area I was talking about. Usually, before we actually used to get the musicians after this sub area downstairs in right now, but now we get it before. And that was better. Now it's Zyper turn to finish. See, that's what can happen if you mess up your rhythm a little bit. Then there's really no backup. You just have to climb the building as fast as you can.
Yeah, it's quite hard to grab if you don't have that specific setup.
Yep. You can back it up, but then you need to be able to know what position you're supposed to stand in. Now you could choose between Seaside and Snow right now. You can decide whether you want to go Snow or Seaside first, obviously, but it also depends on your coin count. If you have way too little coins, you can go Seaside first and grab an additional 35 coins if you have too little. But both the runners right now have a very good coin count, so none of them needs to go Seaside first. It's also a 1.2 option if you, because you don't do Sphinx in 1.2. So therefore you can go Seaside first to grab some extra coins.
Okay, because Sphinx is where you get the majority of coins for the route. Now Toad's going to freeze to death.
Yeah. Completely destroying his house, and it's gonna freeze to death in the cold. Right here we just grab one moon on the surface by Toad, and then go down to the Chiveria. And there is a trick at the end of this kingdom that you can already see if someone's going for it by either jumping on the parasol right here and going up on the bridge over there, or if they get the shopping win right there. And he goes up to the bridge, so he's doing that trick, and that trick is called Snow Grab. I'll explain it when it happens, but it's this very hard trick on the end of the kingdom.
Require a little bit of serious time, I feel, with the setup.
Right there, Dansta tried to clip into the wall to get right into the sub area, into the poison sub area, but sadly he messed up. And, yeah.
It's a similar clip to the nut clip in Wooded, but it's not. It doesn't save too much time
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
it saves like maybe a second,
Okay.
not even, maybe. And Dansta tried to go very slow at the start there to be able to make that triple jump with the blowy Joe is actually blowing on things, so you can get that trip jump way faster.
Meanwhile, we have received a $25 donation from Anonymous saying, "Penguins at my ESA? Yes please, nude nude." And just a quick reminder that for a donation of as low as $20, you can win a prize, a whole new ViewSonic XG240R monitor, which is capable of giving you a 144 Hz picture, so that's pretty good. I would want that monitor.
That part right there can also be a little bit RNG, depending on where the Gumas stand. Either they're close to the icicle right there, or they're far away. And it also depends if the Gumas wants to follow you or not. It can waste. It's another very tiny example, a tiny time-wasting RNG.
Yeah, there's not too much randomness in this game in general, but it's
Yeah.
enemy patterns or like the Wiggler boss fight.
Yeah, exactly. And right after the shopping and dance card grab that you originally got at the start of ship area, you actually get at the end. And right after this, that's is gonna do a trick called Snow Jam. So be excited. Right here, Dansta's actually going to try and position himself to be able to vault on top of the cap while having a lot of speed. And then he needs to delay his inputs as much as possible and vector, as I explained earlier, to be able to get that jump right there. And that was very nice. The position as itself isn't too precise. As long as you get the vault and you know what you're doing, you're pretty much fine. And as long as you vector properly as well.
Meanwhile, we have received a $20 donation from Pigeon saying, "Coco, Joy-Cons are better."
It's a controversial opinion.
I don't agree.
I don't agree.
No pigeon.
Even though it's technically faster, I mean, just saying. You can use some down throw techniques in this game to save a little bit amount of time, as I showed earlier after late clip, but that's so tiny that it doesn't really matter at all, really. Dance nailing is a very hard jump. It's not very hard, but it's very thick.
See?
Okay.
Yes,
very
nice.
Both runners getting
So glad you both got that.
You both got that. Very nice from both of runners. Very good. Alright. Okay, so right up in here, you'll actually see a route difference. This is a very new. We discovered maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe less. A clip that I'll explain when it happens, but we actually skip the note spoon now and go straight to the cheap and go straight to this chess spoon over here. And this skips going over to notes, the cutscene where the notes have to spawn, and grabbing notes, and the cutscene where when the moon appears.
So this hasn't really been in a marathon because it's so new.
This is the first marathon it's been in, so be excited. It's a very simple trick.
Yeah.
Or a very simple clip rather, and it saves time, so why not go for it? Very beginner friendly as well.
Probably the easiest clip to do, to be honest.
We're jinxing it right now, but
before
from
we
what I've
fail it.
seen, it's consistent.
In before fading it like 5 times.
That's right after this moon.
Yeah. Okay, so right now Dansta's gonna try and go to the very lowest part of the invisible wall right here, and this floor right here, and he just pushes the cheap as far as he can into the invisible wall before it pushes you out. He goes a little bit back,
Nice.
and then he tries to capture the cheap again, and then you can actually just clip inside of the wall right there.
Hmm.
And then you get this chest moon instead, and this saves around 5 seconds rather than doing the note moon.
And in this game, 5 seconds is
A lot.
it is a lot. I mean, they're getting close to sub 1, and
Yeah.
all the seconds matter.
Yeah. So a 5-second discovery is very huge at this point. The hardest part is to stay inbounds while grabbing the moon that's inbounds. So you need to try to stay out of bounds while grabbing that moon, which can be tricky sometimes, because sometimes you can bonk into the bottom right there where the moon is. It does happen. It has happened to me a couple of times. Now the upcoming kingdom is Luncheon, one of the hardest kingdoms in the game as well. Now ZYPER's gonna try this as well. And yeah, boom.
Nice.
Very easy. But
Nah, it's just not
this
flipping
is
back
this
in.
is the hardest part. He gets a moon. And there we go.
Nice.
Stays in bounds. Very nice. Another trick jump that Dansta just did called Soul Triple. It's a very simple triple jump. It's just kind of precise where you land on the salt pile right there. But other than that, and the wall jump can also be a bit tricky. Sometimes Mario just doesn't want it to wall jump and just falls down. But Dansta did it nicely, so it's fine.
Also, this is the boss that we skipped in Wooded. And this one is obviously a lot harder because we're in a rectangle and not in a circle that we would be in Wooded. A lot harder. See, I took even damage.
Oh my god, you've proven it.
Yeah.
The boss is actually the same in both kingdoms, even though in later kingdoms they are harder. You will see that in Bowser's Kingdom.
Now ZYPER also entering the Luncheon Kingdom right here. Gonna attempt the Soul Triple as well.
Nice.
Nice. Like I said, it's just triple jumping at a specific part of the soul pile while having speed, and wall jumping, and then you're up there. It's a trick jump that saves like 1 or 2 seconds.
While we were at it, we have also received a $20 donation from Anonymous with no comment provided.
Nice.
That's doing a very looks very easy, but it's actually a very tricky triple jump to get on top of this platform right there, while also destroying a box to spawn the moon. Looks easy, but can be very tricky at times. Oh. Okay. Okay. Now to try to do a clipping, or try to make the moon spawn him a bit higher so he could just so he could just jump over the pot right away. But he unfortunately didn't make it. And Dansta doesn't manipulate his camera and just makes the fireball right there just spawn right away. And this room right here, you'll see Dansta use a lot of motion controls. This is the most motion control heavy room in the game. And suddenly you can get a a spin throw or a regular throw and mess up in this room, but Dansta luckily got a very clean room.
Yeah, there's a bottomless pit the whole way, so any
Yeah.
bonks or any like mistakes there can be quite rough.
Yeah, if you dial off without capturing anything, you're dead.
Mhm.
Pretty much. And that wastes a lot of time because you take a death pretty much.
Mhm.
And upcoming next on Dansta stream is another version exclusive trick that only works on the 1.0 and 1.1. This is turning clip, where you clip into the story moon right over there, without taking a hammer bro and destroying the cheese and triggering a long cutscene. So that's just gonna clip in here with the hammer bro and turnip, and that's
Nice.
very nice. The turnip can be very tricky at times, and sometimes it can be in the wrong position, and the cupid or the hammer bro just doesn't want to clip in sometimes. That was very casual. This ending part as well can be somewhat tricky. Multiple runs has died to that very last moon. So we'll just wait and see. ZYPER also getting a very nice
Very clean,
forks room, as we call it.
imaginatively.
But he gets it, and it was a very nice room, and he definitely pretty much perfect.
I mean, the thing about taking damage in this game is that every moon actually refills your health, so it's quite safe, but at the same time, an annoying little time waste as it charges the health back up.
Yeah. Every time you take damage, the moon cutscenes will actually take a little bit extra time to actually heal you. So you want to avoid taking damage as much as possible.
Nice.
I mean,
first
obviously,
try.
I mean it is a time loss, but avoiding taking damage at unnecessary times is
In itself is the more important bit, yeah.
Very clean run from both so far. Ooh, very nice cloak capture from that right there. Now ZYPER's attempting the thing that Dansta failed, trying to spin pound on top of the cafe right there to get yeah. And ZYPER nails it.
It's very movement heavy Luncheon Kingdom, so it's quite easy to make one little mistake with some of this movement.
That's why Luncheon is always so hard as well. It's very movement based, not necessarily trick based, but movement based. So if you have bad movement in this kingdom, you will lose a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's why movement is more important than getting the different trick jumps or getting the different glitches and skips and all that. Movement is the most important. Now, the upcoming kingdom, Ruined, is a very it's basically an auto-scroller. So this you can just go on and read a bunch of donations.
Yep. If there's a backlog, go for it.
Yeah. Go on.
There is. We have a $50 donation from Gabby and Greg, saying, "My wife and I are having a lot of fun watching the marathon. Thank you to everyone involved." We also have a $5 donation from Not Anonymous, saying, "Comment provided."
Thank you, Not Anonymous.
Not anonymous.
We also have a $20 donation from Edenal, saying, Vikings are the coolest. You all know this is true. Beards are cool too, especially Viking beards. Like really, really cool. Rasmus is kinda the best Viking. And just a quick reminder that for a donation of at least $20 until the end of this very run, you can win a whole new monitor that is ViewSonic XG240R.
Looks like you're done it right now.
So I mean, there are some strategies to this boss. It's just that they're quite minuscule. You're not really going to lose time in here.
Yeah, unless you bonk or
Yeah.
unless you bonk when you're trying to take off the pins. There's not a lot that can go wrong except in the start, pretty much. You just want to try and get those pins as fast as possible, pretty much.
Yeah, and then ground pound just as the shield or whatever is getting off the dragon.
Yeah, and that's basically the real boss.
Mhm.
Not a lot to do. You can go ahead and read some more donations.
Mhm.
Bonk. You also see both of them is actually jumping on top of the boss and taking it down. This is actually faster, just so you can grab the pins as early as possible. Luckily there are hearts all over the map. And yeah, that's it. Now Bowser Kingdom. The kingdom with the most cutscenes in the game. But it's actually a pretty hard kingdom.
Mhm.
Very movement based and very tricky. As you can see with Dance's strat right here, this isn't an easy kingdom to do fast. There are a lot of hard strategies in this game, or in this kingdom I mean, and the game for that matter. Like right there, that was very clean,
Yeah.
very nice.
It's very hard to tell, but there's so much of that spin jump buffering going on. Pretty much if you're diving, if you're out of a cutscene, if you're out of a moon, you're going to be doing that spin jump, and it's very technical to do.
Basically anywhere you can see Mario before the cutscene, so you can spin pounds.
Yeah, yeah, spin pound.
Yeah. That's doing a very optimal dive vault right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't save too much time, but we do everything in this game to save time. Like that thing right there.
There are a lot of cat throws here where you're taking advantage of the motion controls for them to lock onto the shards as you just carry on moving.
Yeah. Very nice shards.
Nice.
That part is way harder than it probably looks. It can really mess you up. If you bonk somewhere, take damage, then you've already lost pretty much 5 seconds. There's not like a single point where you can bonk and only waste like 2 seconds. And here's another dram strat right here, Bowser Dram, where you just throw your cap back and grab that moon, and boom, you're back in the electrical wire. Good example of a dram strat right there. And the huge debate coming up: Harry at first
Harry at first.
or Topper
Yeah.
first?
Harriet.
It's a-
Of course, Harry at
Always.
first gang right here.
It's a 5-minute time save, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
Harry at first saves 5 minutes, so why not go for it, right?
Ooh, that was close.
Like for example right there, Zyper messed up, and that costs a lot of time. So that was a very minimal time save, time loss I mean. Could have been worse, obviously.
That was good though.
It was a good chance anyways. Dansta did something called the Fairy right there, where he threw his cap at a specific position when Harriet threw her bombs, and then the bombs would just go right back at her.
I remember very different strats where you used to have to move to the right and then hit it, but that looks way...
Yeah, that is still the, you know, the most used strat, but
Okay,
Furious
yeah.
saves like 1 second
Oh, nice.
in total maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's more times than like that.
So you see Mario standing there right now. In the cutscene that shouldn't happen normally, but
Oh!
if you press first person on the last frame before the cutscene starts, Mario will just stand in the cutscene. It doesn't save any time or anything. It just looks cool.
Fortunate death from the Zyper right there. That luckily doesn't cost us a lot of time as he spawns right next to the spot he was on.
Yeah.
So that was a very unfortunate death, but luckily it didn't waste too much time. And of course Harriet first right there as well.
Obviously.
You also see Zyper going for this Harriet grab. It is very precise, so if you mess it up then the bomb will just go another direction. And oh, that's a save.
Nice save.
Right there. That's a kind of messed up. Actually throwing his hat right there. So Mario just falls down sometimes when you're trying to actually grab a ledge and just. But he managed to back it up, so it was very nice. Also, that's doing another hard blind jump right here. Actually, that's very tricky. And if you mess that up, you die and spawn all the way back to where you defeated Topper and Harriet. A death right there would have wasted them more. Zyper also getting very good Harriet and Topper fights. Very nice. And now Dansta is coming up to the Mecha Boodle. The probably the most nerve-wracking part of the game because it's at the very end and it's very hard. You saw Dansta going up on the right leg right there, and that's because he can then actually take the Topper very fast right there. If he went on the left leg, then he would have to wait and then ground pound on Topper, but he just dived and spin powdered right on Topper.
Some of these are quite tight windows, and I mean, Birdless was discovered quite a while ago, but the actual route, or the ones that you destroy first, seems to have changed quite a bit.
And Dansta will also attempt something called Harriet third and target acquired, where he destroys the Harriet bubble for third, a target acquired where he just tries to spin pound as fast as possible to take out Spirit, and that was actually much harder.
Actually really good.
So very nice throw, Dansta. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but
Great.
the blind jump is actually very hard and it can mess you up because it's very hard to see where you actually are when you're blind like that. But it happens, it happens. It's still fine. That almost looked like he was hit by the bomb right there. Luckily it went home. Cyber will also be coming up to this Mecha Boodle fight right here. It is very nerve-wracking to be on PB pace up to that boss right there. Because if you mess something up, you lose minimum amount of 20 to 25 seconds each. So that basically kills the pace right there if you get up there on PB pace and fail. I actually see a difference on Cypress right here, because he won't be doing a Harriet 30 it looks like, and this is what you would do if you don't do Harriet 30. The target acquired for that matter. Right there.
Nice.
Very nice. Anyway. And right here now, Dance's on Moon, and this is where you'll see vectoring really take place. You can see that Dance is moving very fast over this kingdom while vectoring. And yeah, he probably wouldn't have made it halfway across the gap if he didn't vector, so it saves a lot of time. And you'll see him vector right here too. And now, this is one of the simplest skips in the game, but it's also a skip that saves the most time.
Yeah.
You basically just want to wall jump on this L that you see right there, and yeah, then you're up there pretty much. And that saves like 4 minutes, because then you skip going through the cave that they originally intended you to go through.
There's a specific. It seems like a very specific part of the wall that's at a suitable angle enough, because you can wall jump from one wall to another at certain angles, probably like 90 degrees, I would assume.
Yeah.
And then a certain part of that wall is actually an angle that it just about works. It's quite tough to hit it. You can very easily fall down, but you can get back up pretty quick.
It's almost like Nintendo put it on purpose, because
Yeah.
there's no way that L would be there. if it
Conspiracy.
weren't. Yeah.
It was found on the first day, and Nintendo have not patched it out actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely on purpose.
It has to be intentional, right? Now Dance is on the Bowser 2 fight. This is the very alike from the Cloud fight, except for the beginning where he grabbed the hat and then went over to Bowser. But you see the tech right there, backflip right into the hat, and then just throw your cap, and then the hat's on Mario pretty much. So the tech is the same. Also see ZYPER going up to the Moon King right there, doing the same thing if he doesn't fail. And again, that damage was intentional right there.
Just in case.
ZYPER also making it across the gap on a different point, but it still works either way. Now we're going into the escape part of this game.
Meanwhile, we have received a $20 donation from Nico saying, "You got a moon."
Sure did.
We're on the moon actually.
124 actually.
Yeah, we got quite a few.
Not only that, we're at the moon. Actually, Dance is inside of the moon right now.
There's a triple jump coming. I
That's
jinxed it. Commentator's curse. Thankfully, it's a very short skip, but
but it does take time, you know. Messing it up isn't the biggest thing in the world, but it can happen.
2D skip, however.
Yeah, 2D skip, the most important skip in the game. If you thought moon skip saved a lot, this one saves a lot. Just want to jump at the end, the very last pixel you can see.
Nice.
Out there, and he got it. So very nice. That saves like 2 seconds.
It's just it can and will end runs.
Yeah, it has happened to me. I know that for sure. And that saves like, it loses a minute maybe if you fail it.
Exactly.
Now up to the escape part right here. Dansta will try to actually shoot as many fireballs on this pillar right here and knock it down. This is called early pillar, and we'll have to see if he gets it. He didn't get it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can tell by the movement and the noise of it falling.
Yeah, you would have heard it if it fell. And you also would have seen the screen kind of shake and zoom out a little bit. If he had gotten early pillar, he could have just fired his fireballs right there and just go straight to the middle right there. Yeah. That's pretty much the end of Dance's run.
Time coming up very shortly.
Yep.
The Dancer.
Once it fires out of the electrical wire, the run's over. Time.
Looks like a 102.22.
1:21 actually.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I keep forgetting about that little bit of time.
Now it's Zyper's turn. Now we need to wait until he's finished.
He'll get the triple jump though, I believe.
He'll get it. Let's go!
Hey!
Very hard to triple jump. Luckily, good. Now 2D skip. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, very risky, but safe start.
Yeah,
so it's
it's pretty
good.
much the last trick as well, and it
Yeah.
saves it saves
And
little and
early
loses a
pillars.
lot. Other than the early pillars,
But
exactly.
it isn't really a trick, now is it?
Mm.
And last section of Cypress run coming up now. In the pillars room. See if he can get the pillars. The pillars takes 5 shots to be able to be shot. Fortunately, yeah.
Ah, it's close.
Okay, now Cypress time is also very short, right? Very nice runs from both Dansta and Cypress
Yep.
right now. Both less, around a minute away from their PB, so very good. And time. Very nice run. Now, to shoutouts, I guess.
Yeah, want to shout out definitely Limcube, who did a lot for the community overall, and Small End. He like made a lot of tutorials, and obviously the top 3 runners right now, KS Pringle, Necrovida, and Lil Curbs, who are like really close to sub-hour time by now and on the grind at the moment.
And if you want to start actually speedrunning this game, I highly suggest actually checking out Small End's tutorials.
Mhm.
There are both beginner-friendly tutorials and also advanced tutorials for the different tricks and glitches in this game if you want to learn it.
Yeah, it was a 104.29 from the looks of things.
Yeah. So
We just let the cutscene play.
that's it pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Very nice, right?
Meanwhile, we have received a $10 donation from Ash9196 with no comment provided. Also, a $10 donation from Anonymous saying, did you guys ever feel guilty about capturing all those little Goombas to impress the female one?
Barbie X Edge here at ESA Winter in Sweden. What did you guys think of the Super Mario Odyssey 80% run? It was pretty cool, huh? I think my favorite thing about the game is like Bowser's awesome dad hair. Looks pretty cool. So the next upcoming run is Golden Axe. This is going to be Titans of Co-op, a co-op run. These guys are coming from Detroit, Michigan in the US, and they are the official co-op team of the Ready Player One barcade. So yeah, they've traveled a long way just to be here at ESA. Let's see here. Some upcoming goals and bid wars. The Pingu game is still needing $583 to reach the goal for the Pingu theme on Ocarina. And let's see. Octahedron, any percent bid war. The fate of that is going to be Kill the Bees or Save the Bees, and Kill the Bees is in the lead by $5. So if you want to snipe that and Save the Bees, there's still a chance for you to do that. Also, here in Sweden, it is officially past midnight, so it's my birthday. So can I get some ayaya hype in chat? Ayaya, ayaya, yeah. All right, so anyway, Golden Axe is coming up next, and yeah, it's going to be a great run played on the Genesis by the Titans of Co-op. You guys enjoy. Bye-bye. They're not ready yet, are they?